Well, this is gonna suck. This is gonna suck.
Georgia.
Due to your weak and retarded woman body, you can't climb a tree for fuck.
You shake it like you know it. I don't know it.
They act like they have a sense of humor, maybe not.
I like warm pee.
Hi, gentlemen.
Welcome, one and all. I'm Casey.
And I'm DC, and this is the lady show. I gotta open this shit.
Oh, it's not the gentleman show.
It's not.
Shit. Welcome to the lady show. What's going on? DC, you're open. Go, buddy.
No, this is the way this show needs to open. That's it. You guys are here. You know what we're here for. Women suck. Let's make fun of them. It's every 2 weeks. Let's do it again. This is Ladies 15. It is the next installment in the saga of Christine Chan. We have a couple of retirements to do because fuck Ellen, and the piss drinking lady, who I tried searching what she was up to give her like a proper retirement. You know, Ellen's easy. Like, Ellen's a fucking celebrity. She could be doing absolutely nothing, and the news would find some way to make it into something, which turns out is exactly what Ellen is up to. Casey, you want to retire this broad?
Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres been focusing on her furniture competition show on HBO Max.
Snooze.
No, she's doing good.
You think so? You think that's going to be an interesting show? What the hell is Ellen going to have to say about furniture? Like, this is the type of ottoman that I really like to bend over, you know?
This duvet, not great for scissors. Nope.
No.
You need to...
I prefer a couch with a shorter armrest for the chin to be just so. Too high, all wrong. Too high, all wrong. Casey,
you always want a couch to come with pillows just in case your girlfriend's not home, you know?
Right. Right. And when you have to get a little bit rough with one of your slaves and you like put their servants, I don't know what Ellen would call them, servants, put their face through a table, you got to know what type of table will withstand the most face force.
That's true. That's true. If you can get a love seat that has a small foot bar, that can be used for curb stomping. That's very useful for somebody like Ellen.
Very preferable. But Casey, like I said, Ellen's easy. Piss drinking lady, I knew that this was just a one and done on a TLC. Like, we all know what she's up to. She's drinking piss. Somewhere in Colorado, she's drinking piss. She prefers it warm. I gotta tell you, I don't know if that's the way to go. Like, you could trick yourself. Like, I'm talking like fresh out of the cold refrigerator piss. I think that's preferable to any other temperature of piss. If you had to drink,
that's better than having somebody lay down and go at it like a water fountain in high school, like blah, 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 blah,
like a bad water fountain.
Like, just try to get whatever. Don't put your mouth on it. But just you gotta get in there.
Like how I imagine if Jerry Falwell was on his back and peed, like that's how it would come out. Just dribble. Right. Like, he'd get no separation. That's when you really, you know, with drinking fountains and wiener piss, you really have to decide, you know,
wiener piss,
where the line is between, like, I'm so thirsty.
Sure.
You know, diseases be damned. I'll just put my mouth right on it and just get it right from the source.
I'm thirsty.
Don't be too thirsty. So obviously I couldn't find the piss drinking lady, but I did try, and I Googled, what is that lady up to that used to drink or piss all the time? And I actually got 4 results, surprisingly. Casey, tell me if you think this first result is appropriate at all. Woman shares video of herself passing out from spiked drink.
That doesn't make any sense based on your search.
Into everything?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense based on my search at all. No. It's just, whatever happened to that lady that drank her piss all the time? This woman was raped. Did you know that? She was raped. What do you think about that? Like, Jesus, every time? So that, I passed right over that. I didn't do it, and I didn't read it or give them any money. I'm sure that's what. It was the New York Post, so whatever. The second result was more towards what I was asking. What do you think about drinking a woman's urine? Preferable to drinking a man's? I would imagine mentally. I don't know that. Maybe men's taste better. Have no idea. We'll never find out. But in my mind, I think women's would be better.
It doesn't. Move on.
Have you ever drank urine from your partner? That's a Quora question, by the way. So was the one before that. No. The answer is no. Not on purpose. Might
Not
have
my
been swimming.
partner. That's weird.
Might have been swimming. Oh yeah, that's true. But finally, the fourth result was something that I thought I could work with. It wasn't about the pissing lady, obviously, but it was a blog post entitled "That Time I Drank Your Piss at Virginia Beach." Casey, what do you think about that?
This sounds like one of those missed connection ads.
Yeah, it really does. The problem, with those is that you want to give your information in those because you don't have any of theirs. You're like, yeah, here's how you reach out to me if you're this person. This person didn't do that. They wrote it by anonymous. This is back August 7th of 2014, so 7 years ago, a little over 7 years ago. First sentence, I think, really just knocked it out of the park. I will always savor that first real taste of you. Second sentence was not to be outdone. We were not dating. He and this chick that are like friends, maybe apartment neighbors, go on this trip together to Virginia, and they stay in a hotel. He tricks her into staying in a hotel with him somehow, and they go out to the bar. She goes to the bathroom with a cup, saying, "I'm gonna go fill this, and I'll be right back." That's a weird fucking thing to say.
It
right?
can only mean one thing. Yeah.
It can only mean one thing, and why cup? Like that means that kind of implies like you brought it in there with you. Like that's a glass.
Yeah,
in a
that's
bar,
true.
You would hope.
He's like
would hope.
the coach in Waterboy when he takes the cup out and smacks it to open the cup out. Yeah, it's like
Something.
She carries them, the little collapsible cups in there.
Yeah. So she goes in the bathroom, fills this cup, and then as they're walking back to their car, she hands it to him and says, "Here, I got you something." And he drinks it, and he says, "It was warm, like tomato soup, murky."
The taste, the consistency, not enough information.
It had to be. This is disgusting. And then they get in the car, and this girl is like, "Oh, now you have to drink the whole thing. Ha, ha, ha." Like, this is a psychopath, this woman. And earlier on the trip, she mashed up a corn chip in her mouth and sat on his chest and spit it into his mouth.
Okay, so yeah, he was in. he had already broken through the threshold. He was going to do all the weird shit.
I think he was just totally getting friend zone cucked. I think she was just fucking with him. Like, how much will I get away with on this
That's
weekend?
sociopathic, and she might be a lady.
Now she might be a lady. Some of them, most of them are. So, Casey, that was my retirement of piss drinking lady. Retire them all.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Delightful. Oh, boy. DC, it's my open tonight for the ladies. Wait. And I am excited. This ladies nomination. So I moved this week. You know this. I built this 6 days ago now. So I'm so excited to go back through it because not only do I have quite the lady, but also DC. You ready to learn?
I that's what I'm here for, Casey. That's what I'm here for. Please.
We'll get to the honorary shortly, but first,
God.
a lady. Well, she introduces herself, does she not?
To me, one of the best nuts ever.
I'm Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart, DC.
An OG.
That's right.
Straight thug.
Polish and from New Jersey. A terrible combination. She was 10 years old, and she started babysitting the children of Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, and some other Yankees. Pretty awesome start. And then she kind of became mom, right? Just from there, she started to build all these characteristics. Her mom taught her at a young age how to cook, how to sew, how to do all these things. And she began modeling as a teenager. At 15, she was featured in her first TV commercial, and that would continue throughout her teenage years. She got more and more famous. I had no idea that Martha Stewart was a model when she was younger.
I can see it.
Well, you'll see it in a second, because in her college years, she was doing modeling jobs at $50 an hour, and we're talking in the 60s.
Dang.
DC. And here's why.
Yep.
Martha Stewart was a goddamn goddamn good-looking lady back in the day.
What's the fucking cow?
Yeah, the cow's great. The cow's great. This is actually a before and after shot of Martha. Right here. Yeah.
Right.
She's looking over her own shoulder. She worked for a bunch of different companies, including Chanel, doing their ads. Went to school originally for chemistry. She was like, nah. Then she went into art history. And she was like, nah. Then she went into architectural history. And at that point, she met Andrew Stewart, who was a law graduate from Yale, smart guy. They get married in July of 1961, and her post-college life begins.
Wait, did she finally decide on the major? Did she go into that last one?
I don't know what she ended up getting a degree in, if she got a degree. I know that she had three different
She got
majors.
an MRS degree, it sounds like.
Yeah. Oh, never heard that before. 1967, DC. Martha Stewart begins her second career as a stockbroker.
Bum, bum, bum.
No, it went good. She still
literally a foreshadow behind her there.
Meanwhile, her husband had begun a publishing house and actually gotten a few pretty big books to go out, and they were starting to make a decent amount of money. He was the CEO of this company. They moved to Westport, Connecticut, because who wouldn't want to live there? And they restored an old farmhouse together, which sounds delightful. And that was when
the only type of farmhouse you can find in Connecticut. Old ones.
That's true. That's true. The restoration of the farmhouse was really, that combined with all the skills she learned as a kid, she really realized, she's like, decorating all of this stuff. This is what I like to do. This is what I want to do. Mm-hmm. So in the 70s, she starts a catering business from her basement, and she starts it with one of her friends, Norma Collier. Now, unfortunately, Martha would have a consistent thing throughout her career, which is that she might not have been the easiest to work with, because Norma didn't go well for Norma. The business didn't last very long with the two of them, as Norma found Martha to be really difficult to work with. She was also really mad that Martha was like taking calls about catering jobs and just not telling Norma. She's like, I'll just do that on my own and just get paid. That's fine. Norma was pretty upset. So that's a lady move, right? Martha buys her out of
breaching a partner contract. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, why not? So she buys out Norma's half of the business. Andrew has now become president of Abrams Incorporated, which is a giant publisher in New York City.
Giant
I guess.
Spelled with a J. Wink.
Okay. Immediately hit it huge with some big New York Times bestseller list books. And at one of the parties for one of these bestsellers, he has Martha cater the party. And she meets this guy, Alan Mirkin, the head of Crown Publishing. And he's like, you are the shit. You should write a book. And she's like, great. And he's like, well, a cookbook. She's like, oh, okay. All right, I'll write a cookbook. So she writes a cookbook called Entertaining. And she releases it in 1982. And it had a ghostwriter because a lady knows her strengths. Following this book, she releases a bunch of books. And these sound delightful. Listen to these titles, DC.
Okay.
Stewart's Quick Cook, Martha Stewart's Hors d'oeuvre, Martha Stewart's Pies and Tarts, Weddings, as you can see.
Wait, what was that? What was that second one?
Pies and Tarts. It's about pies and a kid down the street.
Before that one. Martha Stewart's what?
Hors d'oeuvre? I'm taking a guess. How do you pronounce that? Hors d'oeuvre?
Hors d'oeuvres. Hors d'oeuvres, man.
That's how you spell hors d'oeuvres?
I think so.
It's two separate words? No way.
It's French, man.
It's two words? I didn't know that.
That's the best.
Cool. The Wedding Planner, another one. Hors d'oeuvre? Hors d'oeuvres? Who decided to spell that word that way? That's so stupid. It's two words.
Oh, God. Oh, man. I'm
Just gotta own it.
patroness. I'm crying, too.
I have never read...
no, dude. Every one of us has done what you are experiencing now. When I saw that word, I was like, "Ah, fuck that. That's not hors d'oeuvres. Fuck that." It's just funny to see you go through it.
I guess I probably could have used context to figure that out. The Wedding Planner, her Secrets for Entertaining, Quick Cook Menus. and Martha Stewart's Christ Mass. Sorry, Christmas. That's that word. Sorry. There were others. Let me list them all. No. She was also writing newspaper columns, magazine articles, and made numerous TV appearances on Oprah, Larry King. She was all over the fucking place, dude. Mm-hmm. Now,
She's a queen, man.
Everything was going good. Except 87, divorced. Well, I guess technically separated and then divorced a few years later. But a lady always perseveres. Mm-hmm. And she signs with Time Publishing. She starts her own magazine called Martha Stewart Living, and this was obviously the beginning of the rise to complete fame. First issue comes back, comes out. It only goes out to like 250,000 people. By 2002, it's going to 2 million per copy. Like Martha's a giant at this point. She starts her TV show, same name. She goes from one show to multiple shows to 5 shows a week for like 7 years. She's on the Today Show. She's on the Early Show, which we'll see. And she's on the cover of New York Magazine. And then she really starts balling. By the late 90s, she goes around with her now millions of dollars and takes every piece of Martha Stewart property that's in all these different publishing companies and production companies, and she says, I'm buying it all. And she now owns everything in Martha Stewart Living Omni Media, which is not pretentious in a name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not at all.
She was,
Elite Prestige Incorporated, LLC.
Better Than You, Inc.
Yeah. Esquire.
Or Devore, Madam. Sir...
Oh, man, shit. That's so funny.
This is why you reread things beforehand and read them out loud. Served as a chairwoman, president, and CEO of her new company. And what a move here, DC. She puts Martha Stewart, Living Omni Media, on the New York Stock Exchange. Good call. Let's get involved in the stock market. That is the right play. Investing, DC. The initial public offering was at $18 per share, and it rose all the way up to almost 40 by the end of trading. And she, on day one, was a billionaire on paper, the first self-made billionaire with a vagina in America. Good for her.
Nice.
That's a goddamn lady. Now, the stock did go back down to $16 a share, but who cares? She's a lady. She was great at the stock market. We can all agree on that. Mm-hmm. Really great at it.
Really good. Like,
really
good.
Too good.
Too good at it. Yeah.
She's too good at it.
How are you that good?
So, the SEC claims that she short sold a bunch of stocks, that she got some inside information was gonna fall. She sells. Media shitstorm ensues. She goes on CBS's, what is it, Early Show? Yeah, Early Show. Mm-hmm. And she had a weekly spot back at this time. So she's been arrested. She's been charged. She's going through the legal process now. She's out. Like, she's not in jail. And she's going to continue doing her weekly spot on the CBS Early Show, just doing her shitty cooking segment, right? Mm-hmm. So they send out a reporter, host, whatever, to do the cooking show, and she's going to introduce Martha, and she's going to get ready to cook, but she's got a question or two.
Our good friend Martha Stewart was kind enough to let us drop by her studio this morning. Lately, Martha has been in the headlines fighting allegations of insider stock trading. Martha, it is good to see you.
We're going to make a salad.
Yes, we are. But first, I'd like to ask you a little bit about everything that's been going on.
I'm not at liberty at this time to make any comment whatsoever. And I think this will all be resolved in the very near future, and I will be exonerated of any ridiculousness. My employees and I are working hard to make our company the best omnimedia in the world, and I want to focus on my salad.
Wait, what is this?
Don't fuck with Martha.
I won't. That wasn't Martha Stewart, I don't think.
It was. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think that was an actor. I think.
Well, it was in the Martha Stewart biography thing, so I don't know.
Oh, there you go. That was a spot on. That was a spot on.
If it wasn't Martha, they fooled more important people than me. So I'll take it. It's not quite a hors d'oeuvre. It's not quite. No, yeah, that was in. I skimmed through a couple documentaries on Martha, and that was in one of them, so I'll take it. The 2003 indictment, 9 counts, including securities fraud, obstruction of justice. She steps down as CEO, no longer chairwoman of her own company. She goes on trial, and they find her guilty. DC, a lady is not always exonerated.
No, a lady is always guilty.
Okay.
Always.
A lady is always guilty. And
That's how this works. That's how this works. That's how this show works.
Charged with the felonies, conspiracy, obstruction, false statements, all kinds of bad things. And she gets sentenced to 5 months in prison. Gets the supervised release. Yeah, prison. Now, it wasn't ideal. It wasn't exactly what she wanted, because she wanted to go to prison in Connecticut or Florida. And they end up putting her in a jail in West Virginia. And her lawyer's like, no, her 90-year-old mom wants to visit her. You can't put her there. And the judge is like, yeah, it's either that or Danbury, but let's just do West Virginia. He had heard Danbury burnt down. Yeah, he had heard that it was destroyed. So, her prison, funny. DC, what do you think her prison nickname was?
Loose lips.
M. Diddy.
M. Diddy. Oh, okay.
M. Diddy. She got out March of 2005, stayed in her house in Bedford, New York, where she was just locked away, and somehow still had more freedom than current Australians, which is good. So she...
Rip Australia.
Yeah, goodbye to Australia. She gets out, and now it is time for the comeback. And she, once again, she gets back involved with her own company. She starts a line with Kmart. She starts a paint line with Sears. She returns to TV. She gets a spin-off called The Apprentice, Martha Stewart, which shockingly was not brought back for a season 2.
I know, I was so mad about that.
She
like,
kept
come
writing,
on. I just want one thing. Only ask for one thing.
Keeps writing books, getting Emmy nominations, being a stone cold fox, of course. She's really doing a lot, but who gives a shit, right? Between 2007 and now, mostly, who cares what Martha Stewart's been doing?
Yeah.
She did get sued by Macy's after she made a deal with Marshalls or somebody else and then sold at the other place anyway. So let's end with some fun facts, DC.
Okay.
Martha dated Anthony Hopkins.
Okay.
Ended the relationship after she saw Silence of the Lambs.
All right.
Not sure what that
it's
says
like
about
too
her.
good.
Yeah, he's like too scary, I guess. Either that or he was just acting that way at home. Her daughter Alexis, and this is my favorite part. Her daughter Alexis wrote a book. And the book was called, or a memoir, was called Whatever Land, Learning to Live Here. Not a great title if you're the parent.
Yeah.
Not
Whatever land.
Not an awesome start. She described a strong-willed mother, quote, "If I didn't do something perfectly, I had to do it again. I grew up with a glue gun pointed at my head," end quote. Great line.
That's funny.
Great. It's a great line.
That's funny.
She also described a somewhat bizarre recurring issue with her mother growing up. Quote, "Mother always peed with the door open. I remember saying, you know, I have friends over. You can't do that anymore. It's got to stop. My friends' parents don't do it." End quote. Her friends' parents don't sound like a good time.
Yeah, Martha Stewart pisses how Martha Stewart wants.
That's right. And her daughter's relationship has not gotten fully better as an adult. She talked about why she doesn't invite her mother over for dinner. Martha's complained about the lack of hospitality. Like, hey, I want to come over and eat with you and presumably your husband and kids. Yeah. And she says, quote, "Sometimes this is what'll happen. Whatever I serve, she'll sip it, taste it, make a face, and push it away."
Oh, of course. I mean, you're on trial here. It's Martha Stewart. You gonna give her dog food? Come on.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah, like she's like, I tasted something like this years ago. 10 tries before I got it okay. Like, Jesus Christ, Mom, get out of here.
This is like what that big lady in prison made me try.
What was it called? Yes, Dorito cakes.
Here, try this. It's in this cup. DC.
Prison wine.
Martha Stewart. A goddamn lady. What a
Yeah, she is,
disaster
dude.
of a nomination that was. I'm glad I wrote that 9 days ago. I feel better about it. Anyway,
Oh, so funny. All right.
let's learn.
Yes.
You ready to learn? Let's learn.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Honorary number 1, DC. Let's learn about transracial adoption.
What?
Hi, I'm Mia. I'm a transracial adoptee. My adoptive parents are white. Before I start, I just want to say that I love them, but transracial adoption is hard.
Okay. Transracial adoption, which is definitely a real, not made up term. It definitely wouldn't just be called adoption. The issues, it's hard. Okay, let's find out. What are these issues?
So a little over a year ago, my parents bought me a house and I rent from them, and I'm extremely grateful. I believe they looked up the neighborhood to see if it was a safe place. What I don't think they considered is if it was a safe place for a black person. 1, I'm surrounded by Trump flags. 2, I have a neighbor who right by their Trump flag proudly flies a Confederate flag. And I get it. As white people, you don't have to be concerned about that stuff.
Not
Those
even a
kinds
little.
of people don't threaten your safety. But by being around those people, me and my daughter's lives are at risk.
Are they?
I have an idea, Casey. I think she's right. In fact, I think her parents would do well to sell the house that they bought for her in this
right.
white neighborhood and buy her a home in an exclusively black neighborhood. And that would be, I think, much safer for her and her daughter.
Everyone would be safer there.
Everyone would be safer there. And yeah, I love my parents, but like, it's just throw it in the trash. Throw it all in the trash. It's all terrible.
Let's end with a message from her.
Transracial adoption.
Transracial adoption. Let's end with
I'm
a
trans
message.
too.
Everybody is. You can be whatever you want.
Trans.
She's got a message at the end, and then I had an observation.
So what do I do? How do I tell my parents that I don't feel safe here? I can't just ask them to buy me a new house, but I don't feel safe. If you adopt transracially, you have to think about this stuff.
DC, her white parents did a great job. They have passed off their privilege. She has exhibited every single facet of white privilege available. She has been given something. It is not good enough, and now she would like it fixed.
Yep. And the reason is interchangeable with the times. It doesn't matter. Now, she doesn't feel safe because, she's transracially adopted, which means she knows exactly how to speak and deal with these people. So shouldn't be a problem at all.
Yeah, she should be fine.
When you see that guy at the Confederate flag guy, when you're walking past his house, just shoot him 2 finger guns and be like, yeah, man, states' rights, huh? Psh, psh, all right. See you later.
Well, I hope you learned something there because you're about to learn some more. DC, I'm going to teach you about a new gender.
Oh, God.
A great gender. Gender fair. Let's learn.
Gender fair? Okay.
Hi there. I just want to shed some light on the term gender fair and what it means. I personally identify as gender fair. It is a form of gender fluidity that never fully encompasses feeling entirely male, but can feel
Again.
boyish and masculine at times. I want the world to understand who I am a little better, and I do like being called a pretty girl.
How do you
but
know?
I also love being called a handsome boy.
Which do you
Please
get more
call
of?
me handsome.
Number 1, no, I won't. Number 2, I wonder which one they get more. You're a pretty girl or you're a handsome boy?
It's tied, DC. It's
at
fucking
0.
tied.
It's
Yes.
tied at 0.
It's
I think you're
definitely-
right.
It's definitely
Oh my God.
tied at
So
0.
okay, so Faye, obviously it's fairy. She had like weird ear shit going on. So pretty much it's just I almost feel like a man, but not really. So it's like, okay, so like all of them. It's all the same. It's again, it's all the
how
same.
It's just how people feel. Yeah. So let's see. Next one, DC. A brave nurse gets real about COVID-19.
Finally.
I happened to be called to the ER yesterday for a trauma or an emergency, and the ER was just in shambles. There were patients everywhere, and I saw this article this morning where Florida doctors walked out at 4 a.m. to protest the resources that have been taken by unvaccinated patients. So my question to you is, how much longer do we have to do this? How much longer do the doctors and nurses have to work to treat unvaccinated patients? I see the unvaccinated patients dying every day, but I see them taking the resources of the vaccinated patients. And so how long can we let this go on for the sake of, our freedom to choose to not be vaccinated? It is a real question, and this is happening in our hospitals, whether you want to deny that or not. But it's a real thing, and it's a real problem.
Yeah, that's exactly my face, Casey. I just want to say, what about the fat fucks that decided to eat McDonald's every fucking day, and they're taking up beds because of their heart diseases now that could have been avoided had they maybe not done that for their whole life, because you can't just hit a reset button. How about those people? You mad at those people, or doctors striking because no, it's a pandemic because this is new and it's going around and we're going to have to deal with some shit. So, you know what? I'll feel bad for you when you're no longer like the number one tier of getting paid because your prices are clown world. So you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's
stunning. Oh wait, I mean, I learned, and I am a better person now for it.
I'm glad. And let's move. Let's learn some more. Here we have, and we love this. We love to hear from the teachers, right? So,
yep.
This teacher is answering this question online, and the question is simple, and she's going to use math to answer it, and the math that she teaches her 6th graders. And the question is, can black people be racist?
Nope.
Question on Facebook, can black people be racist? And there were a lot of people saying, well, yeah, black people can be racist. This one time, this black person said this to me. And then I hopped on there and I said, no, racism belongs to white people. We created it for ourselves so that we could benefit from it. And I broke it down and I said, this is the math equation that I use for my 6th grade students. We put it on the wall, on the board. They write it down in their notebooks. Power plus privilege plus prejudice equals racism. And black people can have prejudice. Black people can have power for I'm thinking political power. But then at the end of the day, whether you have prejudice
that's
or
all the power,
there's still that privilege aspect that's lacking.
So my question is power plus prejudice plus privilege equals racism. What is the difference between prejudice and racism?
Yeah, it's just a subset, Casey, actually. But you can't describe subsets mathematically, unfortunately.
Oh, right.
They're two completely different things.
You got to break it down further. Yeah, sure. All right, DC, let's move on. Here we have
an idiot.
A delightful lady. This is a mom talking about how the term princess is terrible for little girls.
Agreed.
It is all about image.
It makes their ego get way too big. Their heads get way too big.
Mm-hmm. And you're gonna love every second of this. It's a bad thing. It's all about image. But there's more to it. She's gonna go into it.
This term also encourages the damsel in distress that needs to be rescued by a man. And it doesn't focus on their intelligence or integrity or any other character trait. Why don't we call girls scientist, engineer, doctor? Why does it have to be something cutesy like, oh, princess, what do you need? No.
Do you walk around talking to your sons like, hey, scientist, get over here?
No, Casey, that's sexist. I reserve that only for my daughter. Say, oh, good morning, scientist. How did you sleep? Oh, you're my precious little engineer. I love you. I love you. Oh, what's that, my garbage man? Oh, yeah. I love you too, construction worker.
Hey there, little racist. How are you?
Ditch digger. How you doing? Oh, you don't like that job? You don't want... That's okay if men keep that job? Okay. All right. I got you.
That's fair. We'll handle that one. DC,
handle that
imagine, put yourself into her husband's shoes as this clip plays.
My daughter's father called her princess yesterday, and I had to lecture him again because we do not use that term in this house. Even my own sisters have called her princess, and I will tell them, don't call her that. Maybe I come across as very controlling.
Yep. Go away.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. DC, here's the next one. And this is a tough one. It's a true story. It really is.
I believe you, Casey. You're overselling it.
No,
let me hear the true story.
No, the whole thing is true.
Yes, right.
Stunning, brave, and true. Okay, here we go.
Tell me when you realized white privilege was a thing. I'll go first. When I was in elementary school, one of my teachers kept picking on the only black boy in my class. She would often send him to the principal's office, calling him an instigator, even though he never really did anything wrong. He's a little boy. So one day after she yelled at him, I got pretty pissed off about it. And when she turned around to write on the board, I grabbed my plum and I threw it at her.
Evil little
The plum
scientist.
hit the board and it exploded everywhere. To my surprise, she turned around and started yelling at him, even though the plum came from a different direction. She then told him to go to the office. So I stood up and I let her know that it was me who had thrown the plum, and I dared her to send me to the office so I could tell the principal how racist she was. I was really confused when she didn't send me to the office. So how was it that a little black boy who was just there to learn, who literally never really did anything wrong, seemed to be more of a threat to her than somebody who literally threw a plum at her?
Yeah, maybe because when she turned around, she's like, "Who did that?" This little girl behind her was like, "I threw the thumb at you." Like, what the fuck? Little black boy, you've thrown 2 things at me this week already. Get to the principal's. I warned you. If you throw one more thing, that's what it was.
That's it. That's the
yeah. No,
whole deal.
that never happened, Casey. That never happened.
What?
At all? It didn't happen.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been had.
That wasn't Martha Stewart, and that story never happened.
DC.
Yeah.
Next up, adoption. Adoption's a lie.
So the myth that we usually hear about adoption is that it's like a nice family adopting a child in need to give them a better life. As someone who's interested in adoption, I actually looked into stories from adoptees themselves, and what I learned horrified me. First of all, the history of the adoption system where I live in the United States is extremely colonial. It was built on a history of taking children of color from their families to give to white parents who could give them a, quote, better life, which is very racist, obviously.
Okay. Not sure about that.
It seems overly simplistic.
Yeah, it seems like if you're taking, like, the better life in quotes thing is questionable because probably was, but anyway, let's not rush to judgment.
She thought that the adopted kids' stories were bad. She should hear the aborted kids' stories.
They're way quicker. I'd prefer it. She continues explaining.
Our adoption system today still operates off that same implicit bias and racism. Black children, for example, are nearly twice as likely to end up in foster care based on their percentage of the population of the U.S. in total. Transracial adoptions are also disproportionately represented in these statistics, with 90% of transracial adoptions being white parents adopting children of color. Centering this idea of white saviorship, many families who lose their children to CPS just need more resources to be able to adequately care for their families. But instead, we take their children and we give those resources to foster parents.
Those goddamn white people, stop trying to save kids.
Stop trying to save kids. And also, it's not our fault that they end up in those systems. I don't know if she understands that white people cannot produce a black child. It's not possible. 2 white people cannot produce a black child. I've never heard of it. So all those kids in the foster care are not their fault. So that I don't understand what that point she was trying to make was. But yeah, they are
some retarded
more
listener of ours looking at his girlfriend going, I thought you said we were the first ones that did that.
Yeah. No, we were the second ones. Oh my god, dude, it's maddening. It's maddening.
Yeah, our country's falling apart mentally. Here's an example.
Everything fucking feels racist to me. Everything feels racist everywhere we go. And I hate going places and there being like no other minorities there. And so everything around me feels like a fucking microaggression. Everything around me feels like triggering. I can't go anywhere. Like if I go somewhere and there's too many American flags around, I'm defensive and now I'm getting scared. Like when the crowd last night and the crowd is chanting USA, USA, now I'm starting to panic. And it's like other people are fine, other people are cool, you know, the situation is what it is, but not to me. To me, it's so triggering and so like I'm uncomfortable and then I make everyone around me uncomfortable. And I need to figure out, like, why.
There you go.
Yeah, bitch, your fingernails are 3 inches long. So let's start there. What the fuck is wrong with you? I hate that shit. That's so stupid.
There's quite a bit wrong with her. Last one, DC. And here we have a really fun TikTok idea. So, again, I don't have TikTok, but I can tell just from seeing all these different posts from Twitter and Instagram sharing stuff that they love to come up with a thing and then it starts like a thread, but it's a video thread. So, hey, here's an idea for tell me about the first time you found out white privilege was a thing. There's a good example, right? Mm-hmm. Here's a great TikTok idea.
If you're a non-white person and you've dated a white person, stitch this and tell me the wildest thing they've ever said to you.
Okay, stitch it. There you go. That's the term. Good idea, right?
Yeah.
If you're a non-white person, you've dated a white person, I imagine that there are cultural differences that white people would say some funny shit in that scenario. Sounds great.
Right.
However, she doesn't actually do this at all. She doesn't actually quote one thing that her white boyfriend that she's going to talk about says, or ex-boyfriend. Instead, she only tells a couple of stories and gives some examples about how she feels. Now, here we go.
He was the sweetest, nicest guy ever, okay? But, like, just typical cishet, able-bodied white man. Like, just so ignorant to the world outside of that perspective. The point where I was like, okay, if we're gonna get more serious, I'm gonna have to make sure you're cultured. So I sat him down and we watched an episode of The Boondocks. And needless to say, he was a little traumatized. Anyways, a couple months went by and I was like, all right, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I could date a white man. I can't. And it was time to break up with him.
Okay, well,
Good.
let's just
Good
skip
for him.
over the...
Thank God. Good for him. You dodged a fucking bullet. God damn it.
And we're going to bypass the part where if you said, I just realized, I was like, I'm not going to date a black girl. No way. Oh, God, no. You don't say that, DC. You'll get canceled. Don't do that. Okay, so anyway, Boondock scarred him. Fine. So let's learn about how this breakup went with this terrible guy. Mm-hmm. Maybe? Apparently not. I don't know. Let's find out.
Again, he was so nice. He was so freaking nice. But, like, I was terrified of going over to break up with him. To the point where I sent a bunch of my friends my location and I was like, if I don't text you in an hour, come and get me, something's wrong. I genuinely thought he was gonna, like, lock me up in his basement. Granted, I had just recently watched the movie Get Out, but, like, white male rage is no joke.
Can black people be racist?
Yep.
All right, DC, that's it for me.
Jesus Christ. White male rage, guys. Stay away.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing. And it will end up with a hole in your wall.
That's so true.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
That's so true.
All right. Nicely done. That got me nice and hot and angered. Let's shit on some bitches, Casey.
Oh, that was your hors d'oeuvre for your segment.
That was my hors d'oeuvre. Honoraries, Casey, for me are going to be 3, 4. Oh yeah, we got some good ones. Let's start off with an influencer, Casey, who accidentally put out a video of her interacting with her son that she thought was camera off. I don't know if she went live and she was live streaming this, or if she had just uploaded the wrong section of the video or what. But I love seeing frauds get revealed. So next clip.
I love you guys. Come here. Come closer for the video. Come closer. Come closer. Put your head right here. Come closer. Put your head down here. Act like you're crying. Really quick. I am crying.
I am crying. Oh my God. I think her son really was crying. And she's like, oh, perfect.
You don't pay attention to me. I'm crying all the time. Do you not understand that? You don't have to tell me.
Why do you only hug me when the camera's on? Don't understand, Mom. Casey, it's time for me to learn you something. All right? I'm sick of sitting here and learning how much of a shithead I am for being white. It's time you learned why you're a shithead for being white, Casey. Next clip.
How is eating meat racist? I'll gladly tell you.
Yeah, I bet you will. I bet you will gladly tell us. Casey, I hate I hate this. You said there's like these weird TikTok taglines, right?
Yeah.
Like stitch the wildest thing your white guy has ever told you or whatever.
Sure.
Do this crazy dance. Well, this one is. Go ahead and play the video. You'll get the tagline real quick.
Looks like we've got an oppressor on our hands.
Yeah, bitch, we do. Yeah, we fucking do.
We need to use that clip a lot.
Looks like we have an oppressor on our hands. Okay, so she explains herself.
So, during slavery times,
What?
slaves did not get to eat the same things as their masters.
During slavery times.
Slavery times, like that's not right now. Like she didn't record this on a phone a slave made.
And that's the same thing as like can black people be racist? It's like, no, white people invented racism. It's like, no. Many people have been racist for a very long time before white people. Like
Back in
so much
slave
racism.
times, Casey. This is the only time where you might be able to get away with saying it's not slave times. Like the last 20 years is like the only time in human history you might be able to get away with it. If you were talking to somebody stupid that doesn't know about all the world right now.
Yep.
Go to Afghanistan and say, hey guys, guess what? Can you believe the Americans in slavery times? While gays are getting thrown off roofs, handcuffed.
Take a flight halfway around the country to check out the suicide nets at the Apple factory.
I'm sure they jump out the window.
Slave times are over.
Man. Yeah. Slave times are over, guys. Fuck white man. Everyone, like, as they're killing themselves, they just say, fuck cis man. So, yeah, slavery times. I thought that was hilarious. So, the slaves ate shitty. Like, we know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, she goes on. Casey, next video.
Now that black people have overcome slavery, they developed a rich barbecue culture to make up for all the meat eating that they lost out on.
What, Casey? Not buying it? You don't think so? That doesn't check out to you? That they have a rich barbecue culture because of all the meat they lost out on, not because meat is delicious.
That's why.
And every culture has a barbecue culture. Oh my Lord.
Oh man.
I think you don't buy it because this just hits a little close to home for you, Casey. Next video.
So when you go to the store and you buy a piece of meat as a white person, you are actively taking away a piece of meat that could be being enjoyed by a survivor of ancestral slavery.
Oh. That could be anybody. That could be anybody behind that hood. That's not all, Casey. It's not only racist against black people. Next video.
Eating meat is not only racist, but it's also anti-Semitic.
Of course it is.
Is it really? How?
Of course it is. Well, she goes on and explains it, Casey. How is it anti-Semitic?
During the Holocaust, Jews did not get to eat meat in labor camps. They ate potato soup, which would spill on their bodies, burning them and giving them infections.
It would spill out of my hands and make them kind of sticky. Dear God, how my hands would get kind of sticky.
Disavow. I disavow. And you know what? We all know, no matter what was happening, the Jews were complaining about it. We know that.
That's right. I was gonna say, like, imagine complaining about a soup burn in a concentration camp, but if someone's gonna do it.
Yeah. Soup burns. I had to take 3 showers today.
Excuse me, guard. I spilled soup on myself. Is there a shower to wash myself off? It's my first day here. I don't know where to go.
First day, huh? 9. You must deal with the infections.
Don't worry. 70 years from now, Mark will leave the steak at the grocery store so your ancestor can get it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Mark. Oh, that's great. All right, Casey. So I hope you got the air sickness bag that I mailed to you for this next video. You did get it, right? Okay,
Somewhere
great.
around
Next
here,
clip. I didn't know that you could grow wings under between your thighs like that. I didn't know that was possible. Hip thrust, not a good move. Leave that one in the repertoire. Bury it.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's horrible. There's not a lot of words for that. It's traumatizing. The fuck?
All right, Casey. Let's get into this one. What the hell was I talking about? All right, next video. Let's get into this one.
I was just playing with you. You swung on me.
Play like that, bitch. I will stab your bitch ass up.
Oh,
okay.
shit.
She's pissed.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, she's pissed. Girl
That's
in a bra and panties and a knife. Yep.
Casey, obviously he did something. I mean, she's mad. She's got a knife. She's stabbing at the wall like, I'm not playing with you. I will stab your bitch ass up.
Yeah, like he had
She's not
sex
fucking around.
with her sister. Like something horrible. Yeah.
Something horrible. But she tells him what he did wrong.
You just threatened me with a knife.
Bitch, you put your hands on my stomach.
Straight to jail.
Lock him up.
Hands on the stomach. Get him out of here. Get him the hell out of here. Casey, it is time for my lady of the night. I've been waiting so long. I thought this was going to happen last night. It hasn't.
Patroness with racism in the chat saying she was using the barbecue cutting knife for that.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Casey, last we spoke about Christine Chan. We had given the update that an incest tape came out. You remember that?
I do.
And a girl had tricked Chris into divulging that he was molesting his possibly unable to give consent mother because she's got dementia. It's lovely. He's still in jail. Probably could be months until he gets his hearing, which is great news. Barb, I think, is back at home. His mom? Who knows? I have no idea. But the girl on the recording, Casey, is my lady of the night. Without further ado, Bella. There she is in all her glory.
Wow. You
That's
focused in on
Bella.
the important parts.
What are you talking about? That's just... I don't know what you're talking about, Casey. Casey, Bella is the hero, basically. That's how I would describe her. Hero that stopped the continued raping of Barbara Chandler. You'd think a person that admittedly extorted Chris, for this information in an attempt to troll him, you'd think that person would maybe have a little bit of a moral history, of being maybe a little bit unethical.
Something about throwing stones, yeah, right?
Yeah. Good people aren't doing this,
True.
Good people don't get involved with Christine Chan, we'll just say. So the internet hates her. Just hates her. But I'm here to prove that she is a lady and not a piece of shit, Casey.
Okay. So far, all I know about her is she saved Barb. So I'm in. I like her so far.
Right? And that's all anybody knew when the leak was posted to the KiwiFarms back on July 30th, I want to say. Okay. The leaks were posted. By August 1st, the KiwiFarms already had a thread trying to hunt down and dox the voice from this videotape. It's the craziest fucking story of autism that has ever been heard, Casey, and I can't wait to tell you it tonight. But first, a little bit of background on Bella, okay? Bella was born in 2000, so she probably refers to the 80s and 90s as the 1900s. Fucking kids. She studied computer engineering
Is that a thing? Do kids do that?
Why wouldn't it? I'm going to make it a thing. When people say like, oh, hey, how old are you? Like, I was born in the 1900s, actually. Right? If you know the kid is born, if you know the kid's at least 21, that's great. That's a great line. Or if they're 21 at the oldest, I mean.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, you got it. So yeah,
that was the most embarrassing thing either of us has said on this show, idiot.
Definitely. Studied computer engineering at Texas Tech University, and this is when she started interacting with Chris and getting some of her hoverers in the Texas Tech and online sphere to kind of gang up on Chris with her. We'll get into that. at some point in her life, she discovered Chris Chan. I don't know if maybe she knew about Chris Chan in high school or whatever, or if this is something that was new to her, but she decided that she was going to somehow become friends with Chris because he trusts women explicitly. It just doesn't matter. Anything they say goes.
Any interest is enough for Chris to be open.
Any interest at all. Any interest. He is looking for a girlfriend-free girl. A boyfriend-free girl.
Boyfriend-free girl, that's right.
Yeah.
Or his mother, and whichever's most available is fine.
and is the slowest, apparently, which ended up to be Barb. Casey, my first clip here is a little bit of a project that Bella worked on for Chris. He had he turned his comics into a show, like online. Like he had a few episodes. They're horrible. I've got some voiceovers that Bella did for one of the episodes, and they're great. They're clippable, and I'll probably have you use some of them in the intro or outro later on. But the intro for his cartoon, Bella apparently did the animation for, and I hope Chris did the singing, but you be the judge.
Fucking Sonichu, dude. I'd never get over Sonichu.
So like I said, Casey, she helped with voiceovers for a Sonichu.
Was that Bella singing
cartoon.
with him there? Or is that just Bella?
I don't know. I think it might be all Chris. It might be
I think
all
it was
Chris's
Martha
parts
Stewart
or something. I think it might be Martha Stewart. Yeah. Casey,
that's
one
what
thing
she
is
was
for
doing
sure.
when that cooking show was being filmed. She was recording this.
It was her stunt double that would come in for her whenever she needs a cooking stunt double. It was Sybil Shepherd. Okay, I don't know who that is. Who's Sybil Shepherd? The lady in the video. Okay.
Actress, probably.
Yeah, probably an actress. It was. So she did help with the voiceovers for this shitty fucking show. And the first clip I'm going to play for you is a dead giveaway that whoever wrote this was dealing with a heavy bout of the tism.
You're gay and you're a retard. You look so stupid. You're a noob and you have such a retard that has no friends and you're ugly. You should just fix that ugly face of yours, retard.
That's not great language.
It's not good writing. It's really not good writing. I'll be honest.
But KC, what saves it is her delivery. Next clip.
You mad? You mad? You look mad, you stupid bitch.
It's award-winning.
It's definitely Chris writing. That's for sure. 100% Chris writing.
KC, this is the clip for the intro or outro. You choose. I think it works for either.
You have no talent, you big retarded hoe.
Ouch. It's a slap. That is a pimp slap. KC, the last clip, my favorite. Completely not out of context at all.
And you're a little faggot that has no friends. You retarded mushroom.
It's kind of a retarded looking mushroom. The most retarded one I could find.
Yeah, I mean, good job.
Yeah. So she did all these voiceovers being in his, kind of trust circle. And eventually Chris started talking about all the crazy things he did with Barb. And the story goes, as soon as he started talking about it, they pulled out a recorder and just started recording him. And Bella, the voice on the other end, was pretending to go along with all of this to try to get him to say more. But the people at KiwiFarms are a little bit suspicious about that. I don't know where they're getting that from. I brought some clips in from the incest leak. The first one, I granted it is kind of a weird question, but I don't think it's, I don't think you can pull anything harmful, out of it from Bella's end. Next clip.
You kissed her? How did that feel? Having known this woman for your whole life, how did that feel?
Like killing myself, kissing my mom.
Yeah.
Like I want to kill myself. But there's just this very strong, powerful mental person that's in my head that just tells me not to do the things that I should be doing. And so I do the opposite, and I
hang in there,
F my mom
literally.
again.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Casey, a lady always tells the joke, no matter how inappropriate. And Bella gets a good one in on the Chris phone call.
But there's no stronger bond than a mother and her daughter.
Yeah.
Say the joke.
Yeah, good one. She nailed that.
So, after this is posted to KiwiFarms, Casey, the autist hunt is on, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going into the individuals who leaked the account.
And an autist hunt is really dangerous unless you're a vagina. Then
Yes.
you're safe.
Well, yes.
Or unless you're
because
Barb's
when they
vagina.
catch you, then it's like, well, I don't know. But everything else, you're right. Yes, an autist is the worst kind of hunt because it will never end.
That's right.
They can't. They can't.
They
They'll
cannot
scream.
stop.
They'll scream. So, the KiwiFarms guys started hunting down information on the burner account that posted the leaks, and they saw that it was referring back to a file that was voice changed. It's like, okay, that's kind of weird because obviously Chris Chan's voice is recognizable, so they didn't change his voice, but they did just Bella's part of it to make it sound like it was a man, and then changed it again to make it sound like they put a man's voice higher.
Okay, and that would
Does that make
probably be really easy to hear with good headphones. Honestly, like
Yes.
you can.
Maddox tried to do it, and they
bad
just
edits-
reversed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bad edits are really easy to hear with good headphones. You'll hear the fucking background gate go down. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. So through all this crazy autism, they find out that this girl named Kelly Osborne on Twitter is linked to a whole shit ton of these leaks that this account 10 Anon has leaked. And 10 Anon is Bella. They don't know who Bella is. They just know 10 Anon leaked it. This other account called Anonymous is backing them up, verifying that it is real. And then they're both linked to this Kelly Osborne. So they start searching Kelly Osborne everywhere. They don't really find anything. But then in talking with Chris Chan himself, they said, yeah, everyone online is saying that the person you're talking to is like a 42-year-old man. And Chris responds with this next image here, if you play that for me. That is a joke. She is a lot younger than that. I know her better because she and I and Sonichu have texted back and forth, even played chess together in the app that allows simple board games between texting partners. We'll get more into chess later. And I have a photograph of her. Womp. There we go. So now they have a picture of her and her name, Bella, which they hadn't seen before.
Mhm.
So now Bella is the target, right? And these guys, like we said, will not stop. Kelly Osborne, aka Bella, basically told them, go fuck yourselves. Chris said, okay, this is a picture of her. She still won't give up any information. She's deleted all of her social info and all of her social data. But they don't give up. So if the boss comes in for FBI questioning and he says, go fuck yourself, Casey, what's the next move?
I don't know. I think I'm about to find out.
Associates, right? Who's going to rat? So they go to Fiona, who's been mentioned by these anonymous accounts trying to throw people off the trail. Oh, Fiona, she's a huge Chris Chan fan. She wants to suck his dick, blah, 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 which is true. She does. And Chris Chan turned her down. That's when you kill yourself.
Yeah,
When
that's
Chris
the moment.
Chan,
There's no doubt.
That's the moment.
That's the
moment. This Fiona was on a phone call with Bella and this online journalist jack-off who was trying to get internet clout for breaking the Chris Chan leak story source, right? Yeah. It didn't go well for him. I thought it went very well for Bella, except for the fact that Fiona is her accomplice in this. And Casey, you tell me, if you're trying to put on, a ruse that like, hey, it wasn't me that did this, and you got to corroborate my story, and we did it because of this and totally harmless reasons, and please believe me. And your accomplice sounds like this.
Since like September-ish? Yeah. September, yeah, August, yes.
You're in trouble.
Yep. Yeah, you fucked.
Holy shit. That was like a mixture of Asperger's and Tourette's and maybe a little bit of schizophrenia. She went
and all
crazy
rolled
voice
into
on that.
And all rolled into a cartoon character. Yeah.
All rolled into fucking Mickey Mouse. So they go on with this interview, right? And Bella holds her ground against some pretty aggressive questioning. Next clip.
Specifically the part where you encourage him to have a lot of fun before the convention is just...
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to talk. What do you mean? Do you think that's actual genuine? That's me genuinely saying, I really hope you do this?
With the kind of people...
That tells you that I'm interested in incest? For fuck's sake, dude.
Yeah, fucking owns him.
Yeah.
Like, do you honestly think I'm, she was, but
she
still.
She was, yeah.
Totally plausible deniability. Did you catch Fiona going totally sperg on them when they start actually arguing with each other?
That, yeah.
And she's just shushing them.
Can I play that again?
I soloed. No, don't, because I soloed it.
Oh, good.
I extended it and soloed just this part because this is what I imagine myself as Fiona in the background every time I see like a stupid Twitter argument and I play it in my mind. Go ahead.
That tells you that I'm interested in incest? For fuck's sake, dude.
With the kind of people who have associated with Chris.
Stop! It hurts my ears. Right?
Yep.
Yep, totally.
Yep.
Everyone knows where we're at. Okay, so Casey, let's not forget about the incest. Okay, let's work our way back to the incest. Next clip.
Just make sure you don't go running on and all that and leave some
We're not. I'm just wondering why he thinks I'm interested in incest and why I'm into it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I actually have been wondering that too. Bizarrely.
Well,
but no, you're not. Right. No, you're not. No, she's not. She's not, except that when they went into their deep dive, Casey, they actually found that Bella had written a super weird Naruto incest fan fiction where Naruto fucks his own son when he comes home from fighting at the end of the day. Not great. Not great.
And not going to get read on this show like we did with Todd Doherty.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Good call. Or at least
so
if
we're
you do
learning.
it, change your voice so it can't get clipped. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll change it to a man, and then I'll make it higher. So, obviously, Fiona's no help. I mean, she's got no credibility. She's a spaz. Next accomplice. All right. This is a Texas Tech University student, fellow student of Bella's. They actually do play chess a lot. Like, I think they're chess nerds, and I think that they met each other through a game of chess that turned into like just a way out of control identity politics conversation. Like, just got way too real. And they're like, oh, you hate Jews? I hate Jews. Oh, you hate black people? I hate black people. Oh, this is great. Oh, we should start a chess group that's actually a not safe for work Discord server where we post things that are crazy and I will get into later. Because that's what they did.
Can't wait.
Go ahead and show the next clip or the next image here. This is Lewis.
Wow, what a fucking goober this guy is.
Casey, let's roast this fuck. He smiles like he's got fuck teeth.
Yeah, he definitely has a facial expression that says, "I'd rather be shitting." I really
looks
need
like
to go to the bathroom at the moment.
He looks like an alcoholic aunt raised him. He also looks like he smells.
I didn't know that had a look, but now I do, and you're right.
It does, and he also looks like he smells like dried jizz and like scalp sweat.
Yep. Yep, all of that's correct. All of that's correct.
So he's a terrible, filthy person.
Who is this?
This is her accomplice. This is her second accomplice.
Oh,
Lewis.
second accomplice. Okay, Lewis. Right.
Second accomplice, Lewis.
I knew Lewis. I knew Lewis, but I didn't know. I forgot second accomplice. Okay.
Yeah. So Lewis gets pressed because he has also thrown himself into the drama by trying to say, oh yeah, no, I was there and this is all true too. And they're like, oh, who's this guy? So they start unraveling his story. And they're like, oh, he has ties to this account that really seems a lot like this Kelly Osbourne thing. In fact, it says Kelly Osbourne right here is the owner of files that he shared on KiwiFarms under this name, Turn Merc. Okay. The autism is very deep. They have like Charlie Kelly diagram showing how they got to everything with people's messages copy pasted all through it. It's nuts, Casey.
Wow.
So they find this guy really fast, and he cracks like the crack is more successful older brother died from.
Yeah. Or that he will soon die from.
Yeah. So they get their Discord connection. Next image, if you would, for me. And now they know that Lewis Hers is Ternary Mercury, or Brap, as he goes by on the Discord server. And we also have Red-Pilled Single Dad.
And
that's what Bella goes
and that's
by.
Bella's. That's great.
Yeah, and she doxed herself by me last night. Now we know that Bella is her. They also have her past font colors with the profile pictures, the Discord user IDs, and all of their roles. How do they have all this info? Again, Lewis, Turncoat. Turncloak gave all the information over to the KiwiFarms.
Hey, Lewis, sometimes I worry about you. You may crack under questioning.
Yeah.
Folds. Fuck. Either way.
Follow whatever. So that's him and Bella. The second thing. Go ahead and show the next image. This comes up, which isn't bad, that they have a Discord server, except all the rape and molesting that they talk about.
Wow,
this is just a few.
Yeah, you've highlighted they've highlighted the molested rape. It comes up a lot.
Comes up a lot, and this is just Red-Pilled Single Dad who's saying it. Talk about rape a lot. Can't have rape without what else, Casey? Next image. Yeah, the N-word. 323 results. It's a lot of results for the hard R. It's a lot.
That's a lot. I don't think we have any in our Discord server.
I don't think we have any. Brap used it to say, why did they get triggered over the smallest shit? Well,
God damn it, Lewis.
God damn it, Lewis. You're not helping anybody. There is one worse thing, though, than the N-word, Casey, as we all know, to white women, whose opinion is the only one that matters in society. Next image for me. Murdering hamsters. Apparently she boiled a hamster alive and wrote, swim, fucker, swim. I don't know if that's real. I have no idea. It looks like maybe she just filled it full of water and tossed it in, and maybe it can swim. It doesn't look like the water is... trying to give her the benefit of the doubt here. Brought her in. Well, I hope she doesn't kill hamsters in real life. But to the right of it, she wrote, I boiled a hamster alive. I blew up my old hamster. This will be the 8th hamster I killed. Casey, can you read what's underneath that?
Yeah, so we have... who do we have there? What does that say? It's
Zoe.
Zoe.
Okay, so we'll get back to Zoe.
Red font. It's hard to read.
Yeah, sucks.
Lewis, come clean now. How many times have you simped? Red Pill Single Dad. So this is Bella, right?
Yep.
When he let me murder a hamster in his kitchen and eat it, and when he took a bite of it. And then someone else says, I hated that day. I loved that day. Good times. Is that simping, though?
Yeah, it is. If you eat a piece of hamster for some tits, it's textbook simping.
As long as
We've
they have
all
a
done
cup,
it.
As long as they have a cup from the bathroom to wash it down with, that's what you need.
As long as they didn't take the cup to the bathroom themselves. Or as long as they did, I mean. As long as they didn't bring a cup out. Yeah, you get me. You get me. Casey, accomplice number 3. And we talked about her a little bit. Zoe. Go ahead. Next image, please. Zoe comes out and tries to be a martyr about this whole thing, saying, I thought she was fucking with Chris the same way you'd fuck with a random in a Call of Duty lobby. But I didn't. Yeah, this is much worse. Have you ever got somebody in Call of Duty to fuck their mom because they played so bad? I haven't.
I ever tell you
not yet.
The funniest COD name I ever saw is actually a little along these lines. This was in college, and we saw a guy. I know it because I took a picture of it because I didn't want to forget it. The guy's.
I've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen it. Yeah, the guy's name was I Want to F My Dog. But the clan tag was really what was the best, which was DILF. That's where you really tie it all together. Legend.
Casey, those people exist. That
They
might
do.
not have been a joke. She goes on, but I don't want it on my conscience that I didn't help expose someone who is convincing someone to rape their own mother. I was looking through old DMs between me and Bella, and I found this. So now she's exposing Bella and all these things that she said, how Bella was so excited about how she became an internet god, which she is. Gods aren't always good. They can be evil too. Next image, just in case you think Zoe is some angel. Her shit got doxed too. Let's not forget she said, N-word bitch, don't back the fuck up. Hit her with a click kick. I like the alliteration of that, or whatever you would call that. Hit her with a click kick.
And
nice.
It's a little fuzzy. I thought it said Hitler with a click kick, and I was like, I don't remember that from history.
So what you got to do, Casey. So that's not great. That's not great. Not something you want, all over the place. Casey, to end, I've got a couple more things. KiwiFarms had to make a rules about Bella and posting. Sometimes like with Lucas Werner, he's very easily triggered, so they have a warning at the top. It's like, you're not a genius and your fucking troll idea sucks. Don't try to troll this guy. Something to that effect. This is what Bella says at the top. Isabella Loretta Janke, which is her real name. Forum guidelines. Number 1, no thirst. Bella is a woman and has tits. That's the most autistic sentence I've ever read in my life. Mm-hmm. Bella is a woman and has tits. Thirst posting is cringe and you will be banned. So don't do it. Okay. That's the first thing I wanted to do. I just wanted to go in and be like, boo.
It's the only reason anybody's
with like
there.
80 zeros.
Yep.
Yeah. Number 2, be civil. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. But the last one is very funny. We are not an autistic Illuminati. Bella is a protected child of 2 federal agents. You're not going to accomplish anything plotting against her in public. This is true, by the way. Her father, her father was in the FBI and now is a private consultant or something like that. And her mother is like a CIA psychiatrist or something like that.
Wow, just dox your parents right in the top end of the page. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So, but if Bella ever tries to log on to the KiwiFarms into her account again, this is what she sees right at the bottom there. You have been banned for the following reason: encouraging a mentally retarded man to fuck his mother, being subject of criminal investigation.
Good official terminology.
Which I think is fantastic. Casey, last image. You can just go ahead and I think play it all the way through. Oh, this was the video. This was a long one. I was supposed to read that, and the last image will pop up. But go ahead and let the last image pop up. Bella, probably.
Oh, DC, that's delightful. That was great.
What a lady.
I mean, and by great, I mean tragic in every way.
Yes.
Tragic in every way. Wow, that was great.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, it's your close, so I guess I'll just say, if you're in the Discord live, we're doing the Gentleman Show in about a half hour. And if you're not, then both shows should be available at the same time. DC, you're close.
Guys, thank you for being here. A couple of ladies, I think, not even debatable that these two are ladies, but I don't know if they're lady enough not for us to do this show again in 2 weeks. So until then, be a gentleman.
I'm looking for somebody in my age range and a little bit more gentlemanly.
I don't know what else to say.
I learned that things happened here that never should have happened.
I did everything on my end, sweetheart.
I can't stand to be around these people 1 minute longer.
I will never stop talking.
Not guilty.
Meeting adjourned.